Make it up.
Mm.
Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. We're back with the Ted Show. Today is Tuesday, or we like to call it here Gratitude Tuesday. And of
Oh,
course, we have the one and only Kendra Davies is here with Stellar Life Coaching, stellarlifecoaching.com. And this is our series, Talk It Out. And today we're going to talk about random acts of gratitude. When Kendra
mm.
came up with this, I thought this is amazing. I love this topic. I think we need to have more gratitude in our lives. I preach it, and I know Kendra does. So, enough about that. Kendra, welcome.
Hi.
How are you? You
I
feeling
am,
better?
yes, I am feeling much,
Good.
much better.
I
Thank
had people wonder where our show was, and I
you.
explained to them
No,
that you did not feel well. You had a migraine.
I had a very bad migraine. I was
You-
dehydrated.
That happens. You need more water in your life.
I do, apparently, a lot
Cheers
more.
to that. So tell me why we picked this topic. You know how much I'm a big proponent of
No.
expressing gratitude, writing your gratitude, doing whatever it is to
Yeah,
live in a gratitude-oriented world. So
yeah.
why'd you pick this?
So I picked this because I feel like it's like gratitude in motion, right? Like, how do I make gratitude an actual way of living, rather not just acknowledging that I am in fact grateful, but like communicating it outward and to the
Yes.
people that I feel it for. um, and it's actually something I did a long time ago myself, and it just really changed the way that I operated in the world. It changed the way I considered other people. It made me far more empathetic. uh, I found myself doing things for other people that I had never even thought I could do. Like, did you know that you could put money on a pump at a gas station when nobody's on it? Like,
Who knew?
who knew? I just walked into the gas station. I'm like, can I just leave $10 on this pump? Like,
So
yeah,
you really went, so the random acts is what this
yeah.
is about. Like you and I are both gratitude people in general. We all
Mhm.
think you need to express your gratitude more, talk about it, be in a state of gratitude as often during the day as you can be.
Yes.
But these are random acts of
Yeah.
gratitude.
Yeah.
Sort of like you guys have heard the stories where the first person pays in at the line at Starbucks and then everybody else kind of follows suit, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Um, but why do we fight that? Like what is it about doing that? I had somebody tell me they were scared. I was gonna throw my credit card up there at a Starbucks. They're like, no, that's how do you know they're gonna get the mug? How do you know that? I'm like, do you think the Starbucks girl who was sweet is not? People live in fear, and so they don't do these kind of random acts.
Yeah. I don't I think it's probably more important to focus on the conditions that usually inspire us to do them.
Yes, talk about that.
Because to me, it was, oh man, it was Christmas. And Christmas, my mom died around Christmas, right? And so it's always like a hard time for me, but it was her favorite holiday. It's my favorite holiday. It's my favorite time of year. But then she went and died around it. So, it's also heavy. So, but anyways, it was Christmas time and I was broke. I had nothing to give and I just wanted like to just do something. Yeah. And I was sitting with my old friend Tom Murphy. Hi, Tom, if you're watching, at Starbucks. And I'm like, I'm broke. I got nothing. My life is awful, but I'll take this last like $20 and I'm just going to buy a bus pass and donate it to this women's shelter.
Nice.
And he said he would match it. And then we
Nice.
went on Facebook and I posted that I was going to do this. And for my friends that have followed me for more than 9 years know that this is how it began, that I posted on Facebook that I wanted to buy bus passes for the women's shelter. I put in 20, Tom matched my 20. Who wants to do it? And we ended up buying over 150 bus passes to donate to the
Damn.
women's shelter and to the Boys and Girls Club. It's crazy. It's
But
crazy.
one little spark from you,
Mhm.
even when you're in a place where you feel like you have nothing to offer and nothing to give,
That's it. That is the thing. You always have something to give. Like for me, $20, and maybe you don't have the $20. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a note. Maybe you can make little cards with your kids that say thank you for being a good person and leave them on people's cars. You know, like you can call it random acts of kindness, random acts of gratitude. I feel like when we show up in the world and we say thank you to the janitors, and thank you to the baristas who make your coffee every morning, and thank you to the waitress that's been serving you every Sunday at the same little hole in the wall restaurant for 20 years. Like when you do something to say thank you to another person.
We have a hard time saying thank you. Do you find that? I don't, and you don't. But I feel like people have a hard time expressing what that is.
I feel like people have a hard time making it meaningful.
Yes.
Like making it emotional. Like, how do I communicate to you that you've brought value or changed my life in some meaningful way, right? Like, I feel like there's an element of vulnerability in communicating gratitude.
I agree. I find it interesting when people, I'll be you're the positive person today. I'll be the one that's like, this aggravates the F out of me. When I wish somebody a happy birthday, I'm amazed at the lack of basic gratitude that people express to each other. Like, I don't need a parade. I mean, I need a parade. Let's face it. That's for another show. Ted's needs for a parade and a big banner. Yeah. But I mean, but it's amazing to me how little people invest in how important those words are. When you are feeling something, when somebody wishes me a happy birthday, for example, I'm like, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
When you say thanks or give me a thumbs up, immediately I'm sorry, I'm judging you. I'm like, okay, I don't even know if I like you.
Teddy bear, words of affirmation are your love language. I remember. Like, thumbs up are gonna hurt you, right? Like, that's not enough. You need more words.
I need a few more words. I'll give you that. I mean, if they had shown it to me in a cocktail, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. But I feel like other people do too. It's not that you do it because you want something. I'm just amazed at the little amount of effort some people put in to expressing their gratitude. And I think a lot of it comes from, like you said, not really knowing how to do it. They don't know how to put meaning behind it.
And I think that's why I like the idea of random acts of gratitude.
Yeah.
This isn't about you. I mean, you know me. Like, you want to write a deeply meaningful gratitude letter and read it out loud to your partner on a YouTube channel. I want to watch that 100 times over.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Words are my love language. I love to hear them. I love to see them. That's my jam. But if that isn't for you, right? Like, there are other ways to communicate gratitude. There are other ways to communicate how you feel and what you appreciate about the world and about the people in your life. And sometimes it's a matter of listening. It's a matter of paying attention that somebody's favorite color is purple and then picking up a purple something. You know what I mean? Yes. When you see it, sometimes it's totally random. It's strangers. It's putting money at the gas station. It's, leaving a gift card at Publix for Publix and letting the next person use it, right?
Yes.
But you don't have to buy all of somebody's groceries. I had a girlfriend at the beginning of the pandemic. She posted on Facebook, we're going to do thank you cards. Let me know if you guys want thank you cards. And her daughters wrote thank you cards. Her daughters don't know me. It was the sweetest thing I ever got.
That's what you want, right? Like, I feel like that is also, I've had people say, well, if I do it that way, if it's a random act, then, and I get any accolades back, then I'm doing it for a selfish reason.
I mean, so?
I was going to say, so what? There's that episode of Friends where they talk about there's no thing that's a selfless action. And I just feel like that's such a bad place to come from.
Listen, if your motivation for feeding people, making other people feel good is to make yourself feel good, I feel like you should do that.
Agreed. Don't get caught up in how you think you're supposed to feel.
Like, I
Just
mean,
do
don't be
it.
a weirdo. Like, don't film it. You know what I mean? For your own satisfaction.
Yeah, that's a
Don't,
whole
don't,
nother topic.
don't make it a marketing spin. But
Right.
if you're sitting there like, I have this desire to do something good, but like, I'm afraid that I'm only doing it because it makes me feel good. Like, I feel like you should do the good thing. You should do the good thing.
Yes.
And then you should
Yes.
allow yourself to feel good about doing the good thing. Maybe talk about it. Maybe don't tell anybody about it. You know,
Right.
um, when I got sober, it was all about like, you do a thing and then you shut up. You don't need credit for doing the right thing or doing a good thing. You just do the good thing. You do the
Yeah.
right thing at the right time. If it was, back a long time ago when you can smoke indoors. You know what I mean? Like they used to be like dump ashtrays, you gotta clean chairs, you gotta do grunt work, right? But you volunteer for it, you do it and you shut your mouth. You don't get awards for doing it. It needs to be done, we do it. I feel like there's an element of that is real. Like if you know that you're on the outside and you're all showman, then maybe you do need to scale it back and maybe it does need to be anonymous and maybe that is for you, right? But on the other hand, maybe you're always tucked in and you're always tight and playing your cards real close to the chest. And maybe it's time to step out of that comfort zone and to do something that's more visible. Maybe it's time to adopt that family, at Christmas or I don't know, cook food and deliver it on the street, like whatever your jam is.
There's so much that can be done, and it doesn't all have to be charitable. Just
No.
think about the things that you could just do. But
Yeah.
you're right. The ones that drive me crazy are the ones that have to show me they fed the homeless, or have to take a picture of the homeless person they just gave their burger to. There's just something so not. It feels like it's fake. And it
Mhm.
probably isn't, people, but there's a lot of things that you can do that are random acts that you don't have to take a selfie with the homeless person.
Yeah.
Um,
And also, I chose this particular topic because we're coming to the close of a crazy year.
yeah,
And I find that the across the board, myself included, I feel like people are getting itchy. We're getting antsy. Like it's 8 months in, we are divided. The world is bananas. And the only thing that ever brings me back right size into the present moment and like able to reconnect with me like that is being of service to other people.
yes.
Like, how do I just show up for another person? And sometimes it's literally like I'll be in my shit, like having a pity party for myself. And that is when when I'm in line at Starbucks and I buy the coffee for the person behind me. But I do
Correct.
it because I'm in my shit. Like I know that my first world problems are just so big and bad for me.
So
Like I need to like get out of myself. And then of course, when I choose to do it, it's like a $20 tab. Like this bitch is buying Starbucks for the office. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn it. So, but it always happens exactly the way it's supposed to. Like whatever. When I say do a random act of gratitude, and you're like, man, this person has, through COVID, like they've managed the technology. Maybe you've got an assistant or a secretary or somebody that has just really done their job. Nothing extraordinary, not even well. Like they just show up, and you could just say thank you,
yes.
and that could be in any form.
Well,
Any
that's
form.
why random doesn't mean you don't know the person.
No.
I mean, there's a different kind of random. The one like the Starbucks, you won't know the person. But like Kendra's saying, the person who is the receptionist or somebody you see all the time and you know that they do their thanking people is so easy, you all. I don't know why we fight it. We fight it. And I wish that I know for a fact, me personally, there is so much selfishness sometimes in doing it because I get joy and happiness from doing things. And so it just fills my soul, but that's how I am. I also don't go and post it everywhere. So don't feel like you have to do that.
Yeah.
Just thank the person. I have some people that did some really cool things for me, and I expressed it social media.
Mhm.
That was my deal. They didn't ask me to do it, but I liked doing it. It wasn't something I did, though. It was something they did for me. So I was celebrating that. I
Yeah.
wasn't celebrating me doing something for someone else.
But I also think that can be a random act of gratitude. It's like
Yep.
you probably had a lot of people do a lot of nice things for you. You know what I mean?
Every day takes a
You can't-
village.
you know what I mean? Like you probably had a lot of people show up for you. And this
Yeah.
is what I'm saying, like being able to make that post, tag that person. You know, I had a Rollins colleague, you know, a few years back. She just randomly, I think it was like, I don't know, Women's Appreciation Month. I don't know. She just chose a random woman every day from her life, not like history or like whatever, but like her life. And she wrote like a paragraph about each of these women every day for a month. And at the end of the month, I was like, girl, that was awesome. Like, I
Yes.
enjoyed reading it. I enjoyed knowing about these women. I enjoyed
Yes.
her expressing her gratitude for what these did for her. Right? Like it can be any act.
Yes. Does it have to be money? Does it have to be a card? Can it be just an expression? I think people get caught up in how the delivery is, what the end is. Ooh, so if I don't buy a whole bunch of people coffee in the Starbucks line, what am I going to do? Will they appreciate a card? Well, that just seems like I think people get so caught up in what the expectation is of how the reaction will be.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I think you can recognize that that's ego, and that if we're talking about
What?
gratitude, what? No,
No.
like that's just ego. You know,
Yeah.
if it's alive in you and it does good for other people, I want you to feel empowered to do it. And it doesn't have to be extraordinary. I don't even need you to buy a whole meal. You can just give away your leftovers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have any
Yes.
judgment. You know, there's actually research where they talk about like giving, and like we think about like you give or you don't give. But the reality is that like our capacity to give is kind of like on a spectrum, right? Like there's some people who want to like coordinate galas and fundraisers and raise hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's some people who want to be grassroots. They want to be, you know, on the streets serving people, you know, like food, clothes, toys, whatever the thing is. And there's other people who want to donate. Some people want to donate $20 a month, and they feel good. That's satisfying to them. But there
Yes.
are other people who want to donate $20,000 a month, and that is what feels satisfying for them. So, like,
Yes.
our level of giving is actually on this spectrum. So, if you feel like you're going through that dialogue in your head, like, is this enough? Is this good enough? Blah, 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 blah. Up your fucking ante. Like, try it. Try it.
Yes. Why
Maybe
don't we want to up our ante? Why do we hesitate? What are we afraid of?
Uh-oh. Did I freeze or did you freeze?
Oh God, no, you're good. I can
Yikes.
still hear you. I can hear you fine.
Oh, your whole screen went like, wow. Sorry.
No, no, I haven't moved, and you are perfect on my end.
Okay, that was me then. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So, what can we do to not be afraid? What's like something that we can do? Give us an example of a random act other than the coffee one, something that we can do to just be simple for the people who are afraid to try it but really want to.
So you can buy You Matter cards. You've probably seen these all over Orlando. They're the
I've
red
heard about them.
heart, and they say You Matter. You can buy You Matter cards, and you can leave them at random places. Yeah, you can. I've had them left on my car, like ones that say like "Thanks for not parking like an asshole." Like it's funny, you know what I mean? It's funny, but it's just a way of saying like, "Hey, thanks for being a good human and not being a dick." You know?
We don't celebrate that enough. being a good human is an amazing thing that I wish that we would express that kind of gratitude. I think that humans, the way that we think you have to do something extraordinary. You cured cancer.
Mhm.
You don't have to be making an impact on somebody's life or the lives of people in our community.
So when I was 18, I went on a trip to New York City with my friend Eddie. Hi, Eddie, if you're
Hi,
watching.
Eddie.
I went to New York City with my friend Eddie. We were broke, but we were going to see Rent, yes, before it was gone, which tells you how old I am. It was a long time ago. But, so we go to New York City. We are broke. Like it, it's a hilarious and fun trip, but we are way, way broke, right? Like we didn't do the tour of the Statue of Liberty. Like we just hiked a really long way to walk around it, Anyways, so like we're at the airport, it's the end of the trip, we're exhausted, we're really broke. Like we're broker than we were when we started. And and we're just laughing hysterically at how we like gumshoed our way through New York and how like I was so obviously from the South, like waving at everybody on the subway, like, hey, I'm not from here.
New Yorkers don't really like that.
Yeah. So we're like laughing, right? Like we're like splitting hash browns at Burger King in the airport. And we're just laughing it up. And this lady walks by and she puts $50 on the table and she's crying. And she says, I have had like the worst day of my life. And listening to you guys laugh about how shitty your trip was in New York and being so happy. I want you guys to have this.
Wow.
Just like that.
Wow.
Like, holy.
That's a wow.
What? Like, it's just a random act of gratitude. Like, let what is actually in front of you into your perception. And then just acknowledge the things that are great and good and beautiful or kind and sweet or funny. Just let it in.
Agreed. I think that we have to stop wanting to make everything we do look and sound perfect. And so that stops so many people from the expressions, whether it's a gift, a card, just a call, a post, because they want to word it properly and it's got to look beautiful and it's got to have all the bells and whistles. And I can just tell you that people will just go straight to the heart of it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the exact way that you spell something. Nobody gives a crap about that when you're expressing that gratitude and people are feeling that love that you're trying to give them.
I think we did at Winning Wednesday forever ago now at the networking event. We did a session on gratitude, and I asked people to write a gratitude letter, and I actually give like the framework for a meaningful gratitude letter. And just as a takeaway for everybody watching, if you want to make a meaningful gratitude letter, like how do I say this in a meaningful way? Being able to be specific and clear, like, dear Ted, last week I was not feeling well at all. I didn't prioritize my self-care. I felt like I let you down when I had to cancel our talk, and you were so kind to me and you made me feel like it was okay to take time to take care of myself. So because of your kindness, I was able to rest. I went and got an IV drip. Like I took care of myself. I got rehydrated, and your kindness allowed me to be kinder to myself.
Good. You're welcome. I mean, there's only 75 times I've canceled on you for less good reasons than that, but thank you. It's easy too. It's funny. I told Stacy, I know this is a little off topic, but I said, you looked at me as we're talking and you said, Do I look that bad? I can still go on. And I said, I love you because I'm going to tell you, you look that bad and you should not be on camera. That's the kind of relationship you want. I'd want somebody to go, you look like shit, Ted.
Yeah.
I need you to not be on camera today.
Yeah.
But I can tell you were a pain.
I'm going in.
You did. You were. And I'm like, no, honey, no. You'd hate me later. You wouldn't hate me, but you want to kill me later for letting that happen because what you just have to let people be. You have to, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. You have more than 1 billion times put up with my crazy schedule and switching things. But I love that interchange. That's the other thing about gratitude. Don't make it what you think people want to hear. Make it what you're feeling from the heart and express to them something. A lot of these people people don't hear it all the time. So something you tell them, maybe the very first time that they've heard, they're pretty or kind or thank you for this. And it's so impactful when you do it. The ripple effect is insanely exponential. So when you do it, you are literally planting these seeds all over the place. And it just comes back to you 1,000-fold, I believe.
Yeah. So just identify a single behavior, an actual tangible thing, how you felt as a result of it, and what you were able to do because of it. Yeah. Yes. Like because you did this, I felt this, and because I felt that, I was able to do this.
Yes.
It is a simple formula to create a meaningful thank you.
Yes, because trust me, guys, you will change that person's life even for that moment. But you will be doing something. The more that you plant those positive seeds and express that gratitude, the better your life gets. It's just a natural law. Don't quote me on that. It's not like it's in a science book, but it is. I'm telling you, it works. It's the way it's meant to be. So don't be afraid. Thank you, Kendra. I love this. This was awesome. Random acts of gratitude. Guys, there's so much opportunity. And as Kendra said, we're closing out 2020. You've got all of this time to be thankful. We're in the season of being thankful. So express it. If your love language is giving food, give food. If you haven't said thank you to somebody who's made you meals, the person who waits on you at the coffee shop, just do it. Get out and do it. You're going to love your life.
If you go to the Starbucks on Aloma and Balfour and you ask, if you mention my name, they know me. Yeah. But I am the kind of person that when one of them goes to like barista championships for Starbucks, like I give them gift cards when they win second place. You know what I mean? Like I want you to be like that, like where the everyday things that you do, those people that you interact with, let it be such a natural part of the way that you communicate with the people that serve you, that you serve, that you interact with, that you can connect and care and just care.
Gotta care. All right, Kendra Davies, talk it out. Random acts of gratitude. You want to do them. I want you to report back to me when you do them. StellarLifeCoaching.com. You look amazing. So I'm very glad you're back. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Love you to pieces. We'll see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.